Hello everyone, my name is Yang, and today we're going to be talking about the target marketing process. The target marketing process involves four basic steps: identifying markets with unfulfilled needs, segmenting the market, targeting specific segments, and positioning one's product or service through marketing strategies. First, we'll talk about identifying marketing. Specific needs for different groups of people or segments, companies identify the change in the market to see what they can change to adapt to the changes. It is also important for companies to identify consumers' lifestyle changes. Key example that made a big change in 2017 was the Get Fit Healthy lifestyle that trended all year. It is important for companies to find a common ground between consumers with what they prefer and what they like to buy. Here is a video of Coca-Cola identifying its market and doing something incredibly amazing.
Last September, in the dead of night, the world's most iconic brand did the unthinkable and took an entire country by surprise. 150 of Australia's most popular names appeared on millions of bottles of Coke. Why? Because in the previous month alone, 50% of teens and young adults hadn't even tasted a Coke. We had to reconnect with Australia, so we decided to get personal. The internet blew up straight away, but we kept quiet. And while the buzz grew and grew, we recruited our fans and made them the face of our campaign. Then, on Australia's highest rated media weekend, we came clean and invited Australians all over to share a Coke.
Kate and Kate, the two Kates. Classy Kate. Crazy Kate. If you know a Kate, share a Coke with Kate, or Mel, or Dave, or Jane.
Our message was everywhere, digitally and interactively at Sydney's iconic Coke billboard. Whichever way you turned, it was you and your friends up in lights. The media instantly took notice. Blogs lit up. Australia had fallen in love.
Coca-Cola.
Sharing a Coke.
Thousands of requests poured in for more names, but we were ready. With kiosks where you could get any name printed on a Coke can. People couldn't get enough, queuing for hours. But the requests kept flooding in. So we put it to a vote and asked Australia who they wanted to share a Coke with most. And after 65,000 people got their say, 50 new names were released. We invited everyone to share a Coke, and share they did. Whether old or young, drinkers or non-drinkers, friends searched for names, tagged one another, shared stories. Australians everywhere were once more connecting over the world's most iconic brand. And with the holidays looming, we celebrated and shared a Coke with a friend who brings a smile to every face. In just 3 short months, 5% more people were drinking Coke. Sales transactions grew by 3%, volume increased by 4%, and 870% increase in Facebook traffic, 12,020,000 earned media impressions, 76,000 virtual Coke cans shared, 378,000 extra Coke cans printed at kiosks, and one country painted red. With one simple tweak to a label, Coke once again became part of popular culture.
We can continue on with the second step, talking about marketing segmentation. We'll identify a few of the broad classes of buyers, and through that, we'll talk about the segmentation. The first one we'll talk about is demographics. Demographics is the most common use of segmentation, which is based off the age, gender, marital status, occupation, religion, education, income. We can talk about geographic segmentation, which correlates to where your customer lives. It dictates the product and services that benefit them the most. Then there's psychographic segmentation, which is geared towards understanding hobbies and interests. For example, musician customers can be segmented into commercial, retail, drums, live sound, guitars, professional, beginner, collector, or even recording. Furthermore, we can talk about behavioral segmentation, which is consumer records show buying patterns over the time that could prompt promotions and sales based on spending habits of particular brands. This is a unique, personalized customer experience tailored directly to the consumer. Some of the traits include patterns of use, price sensitivity, brand loyalty, and finally we can talk about benefit segmentation, which seeks to identify the specific benefits of consumers from seeking a product. Benefit segmentation includes convenience, status, value, quality. For example, detergent segmentation can be broken up into needs for medical, fragrance, sport, organic, feminine, or masculine. And continue on. We continue on while watching a short video here in regards to market segmentation.
Gone are the days when customers respond to self-serving messages, catchy headlines, and arresting imagery. Today's digital age customers expect brands to leverage data not for the brand's benefit, but for their own. Customers want to engage with brands on their own terms, their own time, in their own context. To survive, brands must start engaging customers with more relevant and valuable conversations at critical moments. It's time to shift from short-term sales to long-term relationships. It's time to shift to our customers' perspective and embrace their individual context. Imagine a world where we remind our customers to pack an umbrella before they leave for a trip. Imagine a world where we give restaurant recommendations before they travel to a new city. Imagine a world where we know exactly what the customer wants, when and where they want it. Brands that engage consumers at critical moments will not only provide real-time value, they will create proud brand advocates, and more importantly, lifelong customers.
On to the third step, which is selecting a target market. Companies have 3 different ways they can market their products, starting with undifferentiated marketing, which is when the market ignores segment differences and offers only one product or one service to an entire market. For example, just as Coca-Cola did for many years when they only offered one original Coke flavor and nothing else. The second option is differentiated marketing. This is when marketing in a number of segments and developing separate markets for each. For example, when beer companies not only have one type of beer, but several kinds to fulfill consumer demand. Lastly, we have concentrated marketing, which is used when a firm selects one segment and attempts to capture a large share of this market. Just as Secret did when they decided they wanted to create deodorant for women only, even though they knew they would lose sales from male customers. This has given them a great success in their brand. Continue on with the final step of the target marketing process. Positioning is when a company fits their product or service to one or more segments of the broad market in such a way as to set it apart from the competition. Companies can position their product in a competitive market at a lower rate for a quality product. They can also base positioning off of the use of the product or the product class alternative to a different product. Some companies also position their product with competitors on their advertisements. Finally, positioning can also involve cultural symbols. For example, Apple typically positions their product without their logo, and consumers can still recognize that it is an Apple product. There is a method of repositioning your brand by changing your name, your brand, your product overall. Here's 2 videos of Apple and Audi positioning their brand through competition and product use.
I've been told to desire a red Italian sports car.
I've been told beige and predictable fit my lifestyle.
We've been told hollow status symbols are the goal. I've been told this is the way to retire. I've been told it captures my essence.
And the neighbors will be jealous.
If you don't have an iPhone, you don't have an iPod in your phone. With your music and your playlists. And you don't have iTunes on your phone, the world's #1 music store, with Genius, that recommends new music based on the songs you already have. Yep, if you don't have an iPhone, well, you don't have an iPhone.